Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Can you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Sherry baby, Sherry baby, Sherry, can you come out tonight? Why don't you come out? Come out. With the party. Come out. Where the bright sunshine. Come out. We'll dance the night away. I'm gonna make you mine. Sherry, Sherry baby, baby, Sherry baby, Sherry, can you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. You can rest on my mind. Sherry baby, tell her everything is. Why don't you come out? Come out. You look so fine. Move it nice and easy. Girl, you make me lose my mind. Sherry, Sherry baby, baby, Sherry baby, Sherry, can you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Sherry, come out tonight.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. A Chinese spy balloon spotted over Montana is not being shot down, a senior U.S. defense official tells Fox, because of the danger from falling debris.
It's been floating higher than commercial air traffic in the area above Malmstrom Air Force Base. It's the size of about 3 buses and includes a technology bag. According to the Pentagon, it does not pose an active threat.
Fox Alexandria Hoff. Most economists expect slower job growth in the monthly report coming out this morning.
The labor market is still tight, with many employers, at least those outside of tech sectors, hesitant to lay off workers. The unemployment rate is anticipated to tick higher to 3.6%, down from 3.5% in December, which matched the lowest level since 1969.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. Allowing guns to be taken away from people with domestic violence restraining orders is ruled unconstitutional by a federal appeals court. Attorney General Merrick Garland says that ruling is under review by the Justice Department, that he believes the law is constitutional. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
And a TGIF it is right now.
Yes.
How about that? Thank goodness it's Friday. I'm
Yes.
Rayford Brown.
And I'm Lee Barrows on this red day.
Red. There we go.
That's right.
We're wearing red. It's red month with Valentine's in it.
That's right.
And your heart is not that red. I've seen the heart.
I've never seen it out other than pictures.
Okay.
I don't.
And by the way, speaking of hearts, next month is Heart Month, and my cardiologist has agreed to come on the show.
Yay.
So she's we'll be setting up a date. Don't know exactly when, because she's a busy young woman. I can tell you that. And I want to, and I'm gonna free her up from HIPAA, so she can talk about me.
Right.
So why not?
Well, that I think it's pretty good.
So, and some things that we need to be aware of, y'all need to be aware of. I've learned a lot. I thought I knew it all before. I learned a whole lot back in November, because I just figured I would know when something's coming on. No, you don't. I didn't. Had no clue.
Well,
And
you
I
know,
got physicals all the time.
and there were signs all along the way, but
I
you
didn't know
would
what they
not
were.
think about them.
Nope, not at all.
Like being tired a lot.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you work all the
Got out of
time.
breath a little a bit.
Yes.
But you know, I said, well, that's just because you're getting older.
Yes.
No,
No.
no, no, nope, nope, nope.
It's a lot to, your health is important.
It is, and what you do, what you eat, and how you abuse yourself, and everything else. And we all do that to a certain extent. Some go to extremes not to do that. And I had a
Right.
friend, he's an acquaintance, he was, that used to show up at the same place every year. He was from New York. He was a health nut. He's about 40 years old, and he'd get out and run on the beach every morning, that kind of a guy.
Yes.
And he'd run in the afternoon, and he would just watch everything he ate. He died of a heart attack.
Yeah, sometimes you can just wear your body down all that exercising.
You just don't know. Yeah,
You have to be monitored by a doctor on all that.
Some things are carved in stone, and
That's
it's just the
right.
way it's going to happen. Just heard a little blip there on Fox News about the balloon. The Communist government of China says they're looking into reports that a suspected Chinese spy balloon, a spy balloon, what is that, left over from the
spy balloon.
1860s or something?
It's like the Goodyear blimp.
Yeah, was discovered flying in U.S. airspace over Montana. China is a responsible country,
Mhm.
and has always strictly abided by international laws, And
Uh-huh.
China has no intention to violate the territory and airspace of any sovereign countries. That's what the foreign minister spokesperson said during a daily briefing.
I have a lot of questions about this balloon. They said it's the size of 3 buses.
Yeah. That's a big balloon.
And we have a lot of nuclear plants over in that area that
Yeah, we
is
do.
floating over.
This foreign ministry spokesperson urged U.S. officials and Chinese authorities to proceed calmly and carefully amid the investigation.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
right.
What else would you say?
Yeah, sure.
It must have just escaped from our balloon factory or something.
Yeah. So is this what we need? Do we have to worry about that? Balloons sneaking over our military installations, the nation's capital, and my backyard.
That's right. I mean,
Yeah.
it made me think last night, how many times have we had something sitting over top of us that we didn't know? I mean, the military knows. I guess the Pentagon has known for a couple days.
Well, this stuff doesn't show up on radar so well.
Must not float all the way over to Montana.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
Something suspicious.
Now it also gives a little. This is up higher than commercial aircraft fly. That doesn't mean that other aircraft are not up there, like military aircraft.
That's right.
So we got this big object in the sky
Right.
that doesn't show up on radar
Yes.
unless it's got some metal. Maybe with being a spy satellite, it's got enough metal in it to cause it to show up as a blip.
Well, I told you, my good friend Matt Whaley got me into watching that Flight Aware, and I sent him a message yesterday. So he went up on it and pulled up a screen and sent me a picture of all the planes
Yeah.
that were flying around, but they didn't have call numbers on them.
They
On
didn't.
Flight Aware, you can click on the plane
Yeah,
and it
right.
tells you, but these obviously were military planes.
Oh yeah, those. Yeah, yeah. On the on 9/11, I had that up. The
Yes.
flight
Oh,
tracker.
I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah, I did, and I watched those planes. I watched them disappearing from the screen.
Right.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Oh,
When it got down to nothing, you would think that but the military planes, they turned off their transponders, so you didn't know where they were.
mhm.
Air Force One did it right away.
Well,
when
there
they left
appeared to be
Florida.
a cluster of
Yeah.
them right there in that area. And, and I went in there too and I clicked on them and they didn't show any call
Right.
numbers whatsoever, any tel numbers, anything. So it's obvious that it was military, perusing the skies
Yeah, I do
there.
the same thing with ships.
Yes.
Contract
You
that
do the
way.
ships. I do the airplanes
I
now.
do them both, but
And that
the
got me
ships are
hooked.
the ships are kind of interesting. When I started looking, our daughter Candy, she's down in she's on a cruise,
Yes.
so I
God,
finally found out the
God
name of the
love her.
boat that she was on.
Oh, really? You've been
And
tracking it, huh?
oh yeah, absolutely. I can see pictures of her out there walking the deck.
Candy, you can't get
No,
away.
yeah. So yeah. Hey, that's the way it goes. Do you have that app on your phone over there that where other people that you allow can track you every movement that you make?
Yeah, it's part of your location services. You can turn them off. I
Oh,
keep mine on in case I get kidnapped. I
oh.
want people to find me.
If you get kidnapped, they have a way of tracking you anyway.
Yes.
But
Oh,
that's through the law enforcement,
mm-hmm.
and they can also turn on that stuff.
Right.
But for the average citizen, like a family, they want to track each other. Tracking kids, I understand,
Right.
but I just think it's kind of like I don't need to track Robbie. Robbie doesn't need to track me.
Right.
Want to know where I am? Call me and ask me.
Well, that's right. There are apps, and I think it's through the iPhones where one iPhone can track another to track her children when they're
Tracking the children
on
is
trips.
just not a problem.
Yeah. Right.
Even going home, going to and from school, you can keep an eye open for them.
Yes.
And there are all sorts of commercial uses for that. If you want to get into it, they got another one online that you can, like when the cable guy says he's coming,
Yes.
you'll be notified and you can see where he is and
Well,
what time he's going to be there.
Domino's Pizza does that. You
Yeah,
order
I
your
know. I heard
pizza,
that. It was
and
one.
you can sit there and watch the tracker, and it tells you when it comes
that's
out, they're
cool.
on their way, and you can actually track them, see how close they are to your house. So
Yeah.
you can put your
Coming up at 7:30 this morning, we have Senator Mike Lazar. He's a
I'm
North Carolina
excited.
senator representing Pender, Jones, and Onslow counties.
No, just Onslow now.
No?
We started the new year, 2023. Remember they redistrict. I think it's just all Onslow now.
I think that they changed that back.
I don't think so. We'll ask him.
We'll find out very shortly.
I can't keep up anymore.
That district on again, off again, on again, it got really confusing.
Well, I know they're
so-
supposed to. They're talking about revisiting that whole redistricting thing
Mhm.
now. So that's
well,
going to be
this
very,
was for
very
the state
yes,
part, not for the
right, for your state house, state senate.
yeah. So anyway, we'll ask him directly, get it from the horse's mouth. And at about 8:15, we've got a gentleman from the VFW post
Yeah.
over there in Cedar Point.
VFW 9960, and it's out of Cedar
I
Point.
wouldn't
It's
remember that.
But yes, I didn't write it up on the board, but 9960, and they're actually in Swansboro, but it's the Cedar Point division.
Dave Wilker will be in here and talking about recruiting members and all sorts of good stuff like that. So join us for that as well. And we got other things to talk about this morning. To me, one good piece of legislation that Senator Tillis and I think 44 of his colleagues have introduced. We'll talk about that in a little bit too, because I like the
interesting.
idea.
Yes.
It may have some issues. Some people will think it has some issues. So we will be discussing that coming up. This is one that'll wake up the folks at a funeral home in a heartbeat.
Oh no. Oh, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to talk about. Because I had fear when I read that.
An Iowa care facility is facing thousands of dollars in fines after a woman was mistakenly pronounced dead and taken to a funeral home only to wake up when she gasped for air.
Could you imagine?
It's happened before.
Yes, I've heard stories that has happened
There have been
before.
stories there. It causes a lot of people, and people sit up.
Right.
And that's caused a lot of people working in funeral home, just the workers in there.
Thus going back to
They
the
leave.
heart attack. Yes.
They leave. They quit.
They quit. Could you imagine being in there and
66 years old. She was a female at the Glen Oaks Alzheimer's Special Care Center. She'd been there since December of 2021. She moved into a hospice care facility. This is according to the report, and the facility faces state violations that could result in fines up to $10,000.
Yes.
Over time, staff members noticed her health diminishing. On January 3rd, she was pronounced dead when staffers noticed her mouth was open, her eyes were fixed, and there was no breath sounds, according to the report. A funeral home was called. The woman's family was alerted. At 7:38 p.m., a funeral home director arrived, and a licensed practical nurse, an LPN, placed the woman's body inside a body bag and zipped it shut. They both said there were no signs of life. At around 8:26 p.m. at the funeral home, a staff member opened the bag and saw the woman's chest moving, and she gasped for air. The funeral home called 911 and the hospice facility too. When responders arrived, they were able to record a pulse and breathing. She was returned to the care
Oh, my.
facility, but died 2 days later with her family by her side. Holy moly.
I had a dog that was going through age, and
Mhm.
she started having seizures, and she would have a seizure, she would just go out completely, and we thought she had died.
Yeah.
So I had my then boyfriend, I said, well, would you build a little coffin for her? Because, she was special to me. And so he went to my uncle's house and they built a little coffin out of wood. He came back when he reached over to grab the blanket to pull her.
She got up.
She got up. Let me tell you what,
Did he leave?
he left in a hurry. And he called me and I couldn't understand a word he was saying. He was just like babbling. I'm like, what? He said, she's alive. I'm like, who? It happens though.
It
but
does happen.
That is,
It's sometimes really tough to detect a pulse, a very weak pulse.
yes.
It can be very difficult to detect it.
Right. Well, it sounds like the people that were checking her didn't really do a very good job at it.
Well, she had Alzheimer's. She was
Right. They just,
had
right.
dropping in health rapidly, and she was, all indications were she was in a hospice facility.
Right.
Okay, where people go and
Yes.
in their last stages of life quite often,
Right.
and you really have to be very careful in doing that.
Yes. Well, all the criteria was there. All the, everything, her
Yeah,
health, her
everything.
diminishing health, all the signs were there. And it's just one of the, but I guarantee the next time she passes on.
Oh, she did. She
Yeah.
already passed.
Oh, she did
Yeah,
already
2 days
pass?
after they got her back.
I didn't see that
So-
part. Oh my gosh. 2
So-
days after she got back, I bet they were all like going, you check her too. I bet there was a line of them just to make sure.
Yeah, and get some amplified stethoscopes.
Well, she certainly had her fun before she went out.
Oh,
I bet she was like, payback.
yeah, yeah. The
Bless her.
sheriff's office here in Oslo has put out a warning.
Yeah.
Another scam. It's happened before, the same one. This one is someone claiming to be a supervisor with the sheriff's office
Here we go again.
and is threatening the citizen with a citation if they don't pay money for failure to report to jury duty.
Yeah.
Explain something. I mean, sometimes those are, you pay your money, just go down and get a gift card for $100 and send it to me.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff's office does not call you for that.
Right.
Okay. And they're not going to warn you that if you don't come down, you're going to get a ticket. It's not the way it works. Don't buy the scam.
So many scams out there.
There are. They have been known to call people, particularly like other cops and whatever, to say, hey,
Right.
you got jury duty, or you got a subpoena here for you. I had one of those not that long ago for my gun theft.
Right.
So do we need to come serve that on you? Oh, heavens no, I'll be right there.
That's right. Well, really, the only time you'll see the sheriff's department knocking on your door in reference to jury duty is you fail to appear.
Pretty much.
Then they'll personally come
mail
see
it to you.
Unless they know you.
Yeah. They mail you jury summons.
Right.
So-
Right.
Keep that in mind.
Yes. You've just, when's the last time you got a jury summons? Is there an age that they cut you off?
I think it's 75, so I'm coming up on it very soon. But
Oh my goodness.
everyone that
Please don't
I've
put
never
me on the list.
I've never sat on a jury. I've been called and got into the bench, but
Same
know,
with me.
and they excluded me very quickly.
Right. Well, I went, and one of the times I went, I sat from Monday to Friday.
Oh no.
On Wednesday, they had called in additional people to interview for jurors. They still didn't finish the list that I was on, but I think a lot of it has to do with one thing is my actual birth name
Mhm.
is really hard to pronounce for a lot of people. So I
We're going to
think
practice it.
So I
Can
think
you pronounce it?
yeah, yes, but I don't
I can
hardly
too.
ever use it. I was the one child that was named after grandmother, so and actually my last name is pronounced wrong all the time, but I've accepted it and pronounced it the way everybody pronounces it now.
Barrows,
Yeah, it's
Barrows.
actually Barrows,
Mm.
but that's a whole nother story. I don't really care, but that's why I go by Lee. Lee's just a nickname
Mhm.
because my real name is once you learn it, it's easy, but the spelling of it, people say it wrong. So anyway, I sat there and sat there and sat there, and I knew I wasn't going to be allowed to serve anyway because I had done investigations for both of the opposing attorneys.
Mhm.
Plus, my work within, that law related field at the time. And I mean, everything. And it was a case involving crime, a break-in,
Mhm.
etc. I had been a victim of a break-in before, so I met all the criteria why you wouldn't want that person to sit on there. And I kept saying, can you just call me up so I can get out of here? No, you'll have to wait your turn. So it was Friday afternoon finally before they called me, and as soon as I got up there, do you know either one of the attorneys? Yes, I've done cases for him. You're excused. I'm like, oh, really? You could have saved that. What was it at that time?
$8 probably.
$8
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah, they called me up one time, and the the case was one. I was Carolina Beach officer at the time, but it involved a mutual investigation by Carolina Beach and Curie Beach.
Right.
No, I was Curie Beach at the time. I had been to Carolina Beach. So I get up there and they say, anybody here have any law enforcement connections? I says, yes, sir, I do. He said, well, may I ask you where? And I says, well, I was at Carolina Beach and now at Curie Beach. He says, Mr. Brown, you're out of here. And the two cops at the
Right.
thing, Danny and I forgot the other guy's name, they just started giggling, as
Right.
did pretty much everybody else in the courtroom. And then the other one that I got called up to in Wilmington too. Has anybody in here been the victim of a crime? You mentioned
Yes.
and I
Raise
said,
my hand. Yes.
hands up. And they
Yes.
said, sir, may I ask what kind of crime it was? I said, well, there have been several. One of them was resisting arrest. And he said,
Uh-oh.
Mr. Brown, resisting arrest. That means you were the victim of that crime. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You're a police officer? I said, I was. I'm not now.
Mm-hmm.
He
You're
said,
excused.
you're out of here.
Is anybody out there got any jury stories?
Yeah,
Jury
got me.
duty stories? Call us.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear them too.
Let's take a quick break, do some
Yes.
weather, and Senator Lazara should be here in just a couple of minutes. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
Coming up on the next Goddard's Gold, it's the Beatles, 1964. Who could forget February of that year when they were on the Ed Sullivan Show? And by April of that year, they had the top 5 songs in the nation. We'll hear I Want to Hold Your Hand, Can't Buy Me Love, Twist and Shout, I Feel Fine, Hard Day's Night, and more. Beatles 64, next Gold. Saturdays at 10 a.m. here on Freedom 97.1 and 1120 a.m. WSME.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters. And with Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. Capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-53-4760.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Sideline Marine. Right. Got some of the best customers in the world showing up there. They're friends and family. It's a really cool place. Cool place to be working too, but just to visit there. One guy came in yesterday. He said, I haven't been in a while. Place has completely changed. Yep, it is. And he said, I got to come back to get all my stuff ready, get it in order. New supplies arriving virtually every day. New fishing lures, new things to help you get your boat in order. If you want to do some the stuff yourself, like change the oil, just come on down. I suggest if you're looking for parts, you need parts for your motor, bring your serial number and model number with you. Be sure you know the brand name of that motor. Some people come in, oh, it's a Yamaha. No, it's not. It's a Mercury. Seriously, that has happened.
Yes.
And sometimes, especially if they just get it, they don't pay attention to it. There's another thing. If you do just buy a used boat from somebody, a couple things. 1, get it registered. 2, have a mechanic to go over it. I only used it every other Sunday to drive it, down to the waterway and back. Kind of like the lady driving her car only drove it on Sundays. Don't buy those stories unless you know that person very well. So get them checked out to make sure that they are in good operating condition, so you don't have a problem on the water when you get out there. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Small craft advisories in effect through Saturday morning. Northwesterly winds today, 15 to 25 knots, gust to 30, seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. Dominant period, 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers are choppy. Tomorrow, northeasterly winds 15 to 25, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas 4 to 6 feet. They'll come down in the afternoon, 2 to 4. Near shore, 2 to 3 tomorrow. Dominant period, 4 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
And Sunday, southerly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 3, building to 3 to 5 in the afternoon. You want to go fishing? You want to go out there on the water?
No, I think you should just
do it Sunday morning.
No, I think you should just take the weekend and go shop. Go buy some new lures.
Well, you can do that too.
It's too cold. Because today we have a 70% chance of rain, mainly before 8 a.m. Cloudy through mid-morning, then gradual clearing with a high near 47. Tonight, clear with a low of 22. Saturday, sunny with a high near 40. Saturday night,
22.
A low of 28 on Saturday night. And then Sunday, a slight chance of rain with a high near 60. So the temperatures are going to start climbing back up.
What's the temperature in Key West? Because that's where I'm going.
That's right.
Or,
Well,
or
get your
Puerto
boat ready.
Rico.
That's where I need to be.
Senator Lazara, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, Rayford. Good morning, Lee.
Well,
How are you?
morning. We're good. We're so glad to see you. We've missed you.
I'm sorry it's taken so
I
long.
know. I know. Well,
I
you've
know you've
had
been
a
a
lot
busy
going
guy,
on.
but I stopped by your place anyway.
I've been running down the highways.
Yes. I know you have.
You ought to get a car.
I do have one.
Oh, you
Yes,
were
he
using
has.
your car to run down the
Yeah.
highway. Okay, I thought
He's
maybe
got a
you
nice car.
Yeah,
got a nice boat too.
No, I haven't
It'll be
seen the
it'll
boat.
be a lot nicer here shortly.
I hope so.
Good
Yes.
gracious.
I know you're ready
I
for
hope
some
so.
time off when it warms up and you just take your boat out.
Always ready for some time.
Just lay out on the boat. Whew.
What's going on in the world of on the Senate floor these days? Now,
Well-
let's for folks who don't understand, North Carolina Senate is different from
Excuse
North
me.
Carolina senators or senators from North Carolina in the U.S. Senate.
Right.
Okay,
That's
so
accurate.
and the first question I've got for you is it still Onslow and Jones?
No, I have just Onslow now.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
So
That's
we
what I
lost
thought.
Jones. So
Yes.
Onslow County had significant population
Yes,
growth.
it did.
So so I lost Jones.
Okay, doggone it.
But they're still calling me, and that's okay. 'Cause
That's
there's
right.
some great people
Of
out
course.
there, and I want to continue to serve them. Of course, we serve, all of Carolina.
Yeah. Let's see. What's hot on the floor these days beside the budget?
Well, we gavelled in on the 25th, and we've been working pretty hard, and there's bills being filed every day. A lot of things on the table. Of course, this year the House is doing the budget first, so they're starting their budget work. Of course, we're going to be starting our budget work, but they'll do it, and then they'll bring it over to the Senate, and then we'll negotiate from there. But there's various different bills that have been filed. The compassionate care bill has been filed for medical marijuana,
Yes.
medical cannabis.
Cannabis.
That's been filed again, and favorable.
Oh, good.
We hope that this time it'll make some movement. Variety of other bills. We had the parental bill of rights.
Yes, I was going to
bill.
ask you about that one.
We filed that the other day. That's a great bill.
Okay,
that,
let's talk about that one for just a minute. What does it mean?
So what it does is basically requires school systems, educators to notify parents of any changes in their children. Basically, it gives parents back the rights to know what's going on with their children at school as it relates to sexual content, curriculum that's being taught. Any information has to be relayed to the parents. If a child tries to change their name, if they have some mental issues or mental illness issues, whether it's depression or other things that they express within the school environment, they must notify the parents. And I think that's critically important. And we're talking about kids from first grade to fourth grade, and then of course fifth grade through ninth grade. So it does take away that element of sexual education in those early years that we don't believe that kids should be exposed to.
The parents should have that right to do that education themselves if they so choose.
Absolutely. And fundamentally, parents have rights as it exists today, but this further strengthens many of the rights that they don't have. And do we really need to be teaching a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old about sexual education or orientation? Is that really what we're sending our kids to school to do?
It's a growing group, but they still are smaller in number than the rest of us,
Right.
who are
Absolutely.
demanding these opportunities to destroy our kids, in my opinion.
And we had a lot of pushback on the bill simply because we were told that we're going to be harming kids, and parents are not accepting of various different things. But at the end of the day, parents have the right to raise their children, whether you agree with them or disagree with them, outside of abuse or neglect, right?
Correct.
So I don't think it's our place to tell parents what they should be doing with their children or what the children should be exposed to that they agree or disagree with.
And don't get me wrong, there are some parents that are not responsible
Absolutely.
themselves,
Absolutely.
but there's still the inherent right of the parents to have control.
You know, we just believe that kids need to go to school to learn,
Mhm.
and they should not be exposed to
Politics.
sexually explicit material until it's time to do so, and that's
Okay.
at their own discretion.
We just had a question from a viewer.
Sure.
Asking the senator how this parents' law clashes with the current NC law that says a youth can seek mental health treatment without parental consent.
So we are not indicating that kids that have are not going to seek help. What we're saying is that the parent must be notified.
Mhm.
Parent needs to know, hey,
Oh, absolutely.
Mary's having some issues. We had her seek counseling, and they have the right to know that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's right to keep that. Now we have to adhere to HIPAA laws. There's laws that are outside of the boundaries of this. But at the end of the day, I think fundamentally parents need to know what's going on with their children. They have that right.
What do you see as the hottest topic that you are going to have to deal with this session?
I'm not sure that there's going to be any hot topics. I think, we're going to continue to talk about Medicaid expansion.
Mhm.
We're going to be talking about education in general, a lot of different areas of education, whether it's funding or other issues. I'm not sure that I could say I can put a finger to a hot topic. I know on my end, I'm on transportation now.
Right.
And so we're working on transportation modernization for revenues. And that's going to be a big deal because we're changing how we receive some of the revenues because of the reduction of gas tax. So gas tax, we're collecting less gas tax because of electric vehicles.
Mhm.
And so the electrification of things is causing a reduction in revenue. It's going to continue to get more and more and more as we get more electric vehicles on the road, to include heavy equipment. Everything's driving that. So gas tax is probably 60% of the revenue. So we've got some registration fees for electric vehicles that are going to be going up, some various different fees that will be imposed so that we can replace. We have 81,000 mile roads. North Carolina and Texas have the largest infrastructure in the country.
Really?
Wow.
Absolutely.
Didn't know that.
I figured
Absolutely.
Texas would, but simply
Yeah.
because of its size.
We are next to Texas in
Wow.
terms of infrastructure. So
Even more than California.
absolutely. And our budget's about $4.6 billion. But out of that $4.6 billion, only 2.3 go to new road construction. So we haven't had new road construction planning in many years now because we're still trying to play catch up. So we're considerably behind on a lot of road projects. And now, after COVID, the average project is up 40 to 50.
Oh, yeah.
So you talk about $2.4 billion. When you have one project that's $250 million, that doesn't go very far.
Mm-mm.
So revenue is a big concern. So we've got some modernization of that, bringing it up to speed. One of the things that we're looking at is removing the cap on sales tax for vehicles. Right now it's capped at $80,000. We're talking about removing that. So if you buy $100,000 vehicle, you'll pay sales tax on $100,000, not capped at 80.
I won't be buying one.
And then various other. So that'll be a hot topic for us on the transportation side.
Question. I'm old, so I remember way back when we didn't have a road use tax when you bought a vehicle. Way back when. How is that road use tax that every time you buy a vehicle from either new or used, how is that? Where does it go?
When you're talking about road tax, you're talking about sales tax.
Well, no, there's a road use tax as well now. When you renew your tags and stuff like that.
Yeah, that all goes to transportation.
Yeah,
that's all part of that 4 point.
Mm-hmm.
4.4 billion.
Um,
Now, years ago,
It was
Ray,
$15 to renew your tags, regardless of the size of the vehicle.
that's exactly right, and that's we're looking at increasing that as well. The revenues are just not there to support the needs that we have.
Mhm.
And and when you talk about needs, we're alluding to earlier, we're second largest in the country in terms of infrastructure. North Carolina is known for agriculture, military, and so in effort to continue economic development in North Carolina with the growth that we're having, we have to maintain our roads. We have to continue to develop new roads so that we can continue to grow as a state.
Oh my goodness gracious. Let's go ahead and take a break.
Some good things and then some not so good things.
At least we're viably pretty good shape, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've made some tremendous strides on our bridge replacements because that was one of our number one issue.
Yeah. So we're one that's 100 years old is being replaced here in Onslow County.
That's exactly right.
So interesting. Let's take a quick break. 910-333-0139. You have a quick question, ring us up. 910-333-0139. You're live and local. Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Afternoon guy Chris Hollywood, man, reminding you Coach Joe and Rays will be on Sports Talk with Chris Rader coming up at 9 a.m. This is exciting. Joe coached volleyball at Swansboro High School for 20 years. During that time, Swansboro picked up five state championships, 4 runner-up finishes. Joan was the North Carolina High School Athletic Association Coach of the Year in 1993, and this coming Saturday, February the 4th, she will be the 2023 inaugural Swansboro Hall of Fame inductee. Tune in, find out about Joan. All happening at 9 a.m. with Chris Rader. Sports Talk, exclusively on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team. Serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning. And now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hempstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax. We're on the way.
If you own rental property but don't have time or expertise to manage it, entrust Fountain Management with managing your rental properties. There will be no disappointments. Fountain Management is very receptive to answering any questions along the way. If you're looking for an honest, professional, friendly management company, call Fountain Management today, 910-455-1609, or visit Fountain Management at 255 Williamsburg Parkway, Jacksonville.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want it painted, maintained, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
All right, we're back, and Senator Mike Lazar in the studio with us. And anything else in particular that's going to come out after you leave from here today that we'll get a news release on?
Not that I can really talk about today.
Okay.
We've got some other bills that we're working on that I'm particularly working on, and that's the same-sex search bill. Basically, it's going to put into law that that if a child requires a search for any reason that the school's policy has, that it has to be administered by the same sex with the same sex observing. So if it's a female,
That's a good.
a female will have to do the search and another female will need to be in the room. Right now you have various policies across the state and some don't have policies. This will sort of streamline and make it law that it has to be done in that manner. You'll see that. I'm working on some military related bills. One would exempt property tax for disabled military veterans. And that would also hold harmless the county, so the county wouldn't have to take the hit on that, but we're working on that. I'm also working on another portion of that, which is a separate bill that there's some grants from the feds that are available that if a disabled veteran has to modify their home for their needs, that aspect of it would be omitted from taxation. So
I like that.
Working on that. We've got a lot of good things going on that will be good bills. Hopefully we can get them across the curb.
So I'm curious, voter ID. Are we going to
voter
revisit
ID?
that?
Yes, voter ID will be revisited. We sent it back to the courts, but we may reintroduce a bill to move that back through again. So you will see voter ID in this session.
Yeah, I've made the comment several times. I can't go to Sam's without an ID and buy anything. I can't go to the library and check out a book without an ID. I can't check an ID. I can't go to the bank and get money out of my account without an ID unless I do it at the teller machine. But we can vote for the president of the United States of America without having an ID.
America. It's America.
Well,
That's why.
the interesting or the good part about us reintroducing the bill is we're going to make it a little bit stronger than what the original bill is, because the original bill that the people voted on was a very, very loose, what I will call loose bill. It was as fair a bill as you can put together in order to effectively get voter ID out there. But if we do have to rewrite it, it'll be a little bit more strict than the original bill. So again, no one can deny that having an ID is the right way to vote. We want to know who's voting. We want to make sure that it's the person that they say they are. And like you said, you can't go anywhere without showing an ID for some sort of reason. And to be able to go and vote for a president or anyone for that matter, and not have to verify your identity other than someone asking your address at best, right? To be able to vote.
All right. I had a listener that wanted to know if you're working on the regulations of all these vape shops.
We are not.
Okay.
That I know of. I can check with Health and Human Services side. I know that there's some federal regulation that's in the works, but not a state regulation that I know of.
And you just look at your committee assignments, standing or select committees. You're the chairman of the appropriations on the Department of Transportation. You're chairman of the Transportation Committee. You're a member of the Education, Higher Education, the Finance Committee, and the Judiciary Committee, and the State and Local Government. So you're staying busy.
And he still makes pizzas.
Yeah.
He's still making. Now, what's the difference between standing and non-standing committees?
Standing is in other words, it's a continuous committee.
Right.
A non-standing committee would be a committee that stood up for a period of time for specific reasons.
Oh, because I see you're members of the Joint Legislative Oversight Committee on Justice and Public Safety.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one. Joint Legislative Transportation Oversight Committee, Joint Legislative Committee on Local Government, and Joint Legislative Oversight Committee on the North Carolina State Lottery. When do you have time to make pieces?
Not much lately.
Yeah.
Not
My
much.
goodness.
I hope to keep receiving a paycheck because that would be very difficult.
I'll tell you what.
And I just got Senator Berger asked me to sit on the Council of Governments for North Carolina.
That's
So,
good. Yeah, you've got a lot
um,
of experience there.
you know, it's work that I've always enjoyed. Policy work is, I'm sort of a policy nerd, so it's right up my alley, and so I enjoy this kind of work. I enjoy making a difference in people's lives. I enjoy leading so that we can enhance our state and make it a better place to live. I'll tell you, you'll be hearing more about a tax package. We're really trying to accelerate the tax rate reduction in our state. That's what makes our state so vibrant. You know, the footprint that we have today is the work that's been done to get our tax rates down to where they are. People want to move to North Carolina for a variety of reasons, whether it's to get out of, where they live and come to a better climate. But we have a very good financial climate here, whether it's for business or for personal. And so our state continues to grow. Population growth in every city is just incredible. And so we're very fortunate. And part of that is because of our tax structure.
Yeah. All right, we've got a caller on the line probably with a question. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, Royce Bennett. How you doing?
Hello,
Ray?
Mr.
Good
Commissioner.
morning,
Doing fine,
Royce.
sir.
Hey, look, Senator, a few years ago, the legislature passed a law that said that commissioners and local government officials can't sit on a nonprofit board that receives funding from that board, which means that our commissioners had to come off of the Chamber of Commerce board, the Economic Development Board, the YMCA board, and a lot of other great nonprofits that do a lot of good work in Onslow County. I'm just wondering if you can help us to get that law changed so that we can get back on those boards and support the work that's done in Onslow County.
The answer to that, Commissioner, is yes. I think, as we talked about last session, it was particular wording that needed to be tweaked. That it wasn't the intent of the bill, but I'm working with Senator Barnes to try to make those tweaks, and hopefully we can get that back through.
Thank you. That's all I had. I
Okay.
appreciate you being there today.
Royce, thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Commissioner.
Commissioner.
Appreciate it. Let's take a quick break. Come back. I want to ask you about, I think you had included some stuff in your newsletter, maybe this last newsletter that I want to ask you about as well.
Okay.
You're live and local. Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
Shoppers, take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less. Down home, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Whole bottom round is just $3.59 a pound. Half cut bone-in strip loin, just $7.99 a pound. How about beef back ribs, $2.99 a pound. Whole bone-in pork loin, just $1.39 a pound. Whole chickens, $1.49 a pound, and quarter sliced pork loin, just $1.79 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store. They use only the finest certified Angus beef and Sanderson Farm chicken. Over in produce, sweet, juicy blueberries, just $2.99 a pint. County Gold cantaloupes are only $2.99 each. Jumbo bell peppers, 99 cents each. Roma or vine ripe tomatoes, just $1.79 a pound. How about a 3-pound bag of California navel oranges for $3.99? Fresh jumbo yellow onions, just 99 cents a pound. And sweet and red cherries, just $4.99 a pound. That's locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down home, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. And oh, by the way, you get 3 12-packs of Cokes or Sprites for just $14. Remember, save big with the pig.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we're back, and the bill that I was referring to, as we just talked during the break, and I forgot what you called it, but there's a specific bill there about
Yes,
sanctuary cities and
it's-
sheriffs.
It's Senate Bill 50. It basically requires cooperation with ICE 2.0. We just introduced that 2 days ago, I believe.
You know, coming up as a cop, I could never understand one police officer or one police organization, elected or not going to the aid nor supporting another law enforcement group.
Well,
really?
I think it's fair to say that there's a select few sheriffs that oppose this bill,
Mhm.
but it's not the majority.
Mhm.
And so I don't want to speak for all our sheriffs. We just had a sheriff's reception last week, and we have some incredible law enforcement folks in our state.
We do.
And we have
Yes,
some
we do.
incredible sheriffs, to include Onslow County. We're very fortunate. But again, it's not across the board, and cooperation is extremely important. You know, we need to have the folks here that belong here, and unfortunately, there's some folks that should not be here that
They need to be
they
shipped
need
out.
to be shipped out, and that's just the law.
Yeah. Ship them to New York. They've
Yeah.
got a few up there already.
We have pathways of getting here legally.
Mm-hmm. And with all of the crime that we see involving this, I cannot understand any sheriff not wanting to cooperate with ICE.
Well, again, you know, you look at fentanyl.
Yes.
You know, where's it coming from? And in speaking about fentanyl, I have a bill that will be introduced, and you'll see it next week, that basically will remove any expungement authority if you're charged with fentanyl.
Oh, really?
And we're looking to make it stricter punishment. You know, last time we changed it from a misdemeanor to a felony I, and now we're going to increase the penalty, and we're also going to remove expungement. So you get charged with anything to do with felony, it will not be expungible at any time.
No felony or just fentanyl?
Well, if it's fentanyl related, if it's fentanyl, there's no expungement.
Okay.
Because you can get expungement. Let's just say you got arrested for cocaine and you do your time, and you know, variety of different. It's non-violent crime, basically non-violent felony. You have the opportunity to get it expunged over a period of time. But but if you're charged with fentanyl felony, you will not have that up. It's done.
One of my pet peeves, probation and parole, and the DOC. North Carolina, the Department of Corrections. There are a lot of people being turned loose very early, a revolving door. 78%, I think, of the people who are in prison have been there before. Frequent flyers, they're known as. I see this as a problem because they're released. Then they come to my house and break in and steal stuff,
right.
Or they go to your house and break in and steal stuff. It's a revolving door that we could stop if we just kept them where they were to finish their entire sentences.
So we have separated the department. Now it's a completely separate department now. As a matter of fact, we just confirmed the Secretary Ishii last week, who is in charge of the Department of Adult Corrections. So now it falls under a completely different department. Prison systems, probation, and this individual, Todd Ishii, Secretary Ishii, that we just put in place, has 30 plus years of experience in various different areas of criminal justice, and we really think he's going to do some really great things for us. Even though it's a governor appointee, he had an excellent resume, really on the right side of things, and I think he's going to be able to do some really good things as it relates to our whole system in general.
Yeah, I would. I haven't been the victim of that part, but I have been the victim before. But I cannot imagine me coming home and finding my stuff had been cleared out by some guy that they got an early release. That's adding insult to injury.
And unfortunately, it happens a lot.
Every day. Somewhere in North Carolina it's happening.
But we look for some, again, the whole thing is that we want people to rehabilitate. We don't want a system that promotes keeping people down. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone, has a part of their life that they're not proud of. But we don't need to develop a system that keeps people down. So fortunately, we do try to develop, I shouldn't say unfortunately, it is fortunate. We try to develop ways for people to to do their time, get back out, rehabilitate, and get back to normal society. We don't want to keep people in jail that don't need to be in jail. But there's some folks that do need to be in jail, and frequent flyers, as you indicated, that's a whole different story.
That's it.
And we see that in a lot of sexual misconduct. We see habitual offenders, and that it's over and over and over, but we're still letting them out. Why are we doing that? So a lot of questions related to that, but we do feel very good about this new secretary.
So what time next month are they going to start on the 2 jetties for the New River Inlet to stabilize it?
That's a conversation for another day.
Yes.
I'm in the middle of all that.
I'm
right
pushing
now,
it.
Yep. So we want to take care of our folks at Top Sail.
Yes.
So we've been meeting with them, and hopefully we can help them.
Yeah, they scream and holler about the sand that's going to wash. No, the sand builds up on the south side of those inlets.
Yeah,
and if you've got a jetty there,
and they bring in a lot of revenue, so we can't discount.
We got a lot of boat building companies here, from Grady White on down.
That's exactly right.
And we're talking about boats that cost a pretty penny, as we know.
Very expensive.
And there are a lot of people out there on the water, as you know. A lot of people go through the inlet, as you know, and I know. Why do we want to make it so difficult and dangerous for them?
Well, you have a lot of environmental folks that really care deeply about the environment, so it becomes a big fight. Everybody wants their piece of the puzzle, and you could rationalize with both sides, and you try to find a middle ground that could hopefully make something work for it to be better. But you do understand both sides, but it is a fight.
Okay. Senator, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Interesting.
I will
Always.
keep you posted on anything exciting coming through.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you having me.
You don't have to wait for an invite.
Yeah.
You got the number, just reach out.
Sorry it's taking so long.
Oh, it's
You're
okay.
fine.
We
It's
know
not a
you've been
problem.
so
Yeah,
busy.
especially after the first of the year, it gets really busy.
Just open
And
it
any
up.
questions, don't hesitate. Shoot me a text.
Okay.
Oh,
And
you
for you
knew
folks
it
out
well.
there who are watching us on the YouTube and Facebook channels, Mike and his company are responsible for this flag.
All our good
and
stuff.
all the other stuff that we put up. And we're going to redo it. We got him in here, so I got him cornered.
Thank you.
We're going to have it redone.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you,
You
sir.
too.
All right.
So good to
Bye-bye.
see you again.
Let's do a Fox News break, and we'll be back on the other side. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME.
That's the new Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. A Chinese spy balloon spotted over Montana is not being shot down, a senior U.S. defense official tells Fox, because of the danger from falling debris.
It's been floating higher than commercial air traffic in the area above Malmstrom Air Force Base. It's the size of about 3 buses and includes a technology bag. According to the Pentagon, it does not pose an active threat.
Fox Andrea Hoff. Most economists expect slower job growth in the monthly report coming out this morning.
The labor market is still tight, with many employers, at least those outside of tech sectors, hesitant to lay off workers. The unemployment rate is anticipated to tick higher to 3.6%, down from 3.5% in December, which matched the lowest level since 1969.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. Allowing guns to be taken away from people with domestic violence restraining orders is ruled unconstitutional by a federal appeals court. Attorney General Merrick Garland says that ruling is under review by the Justice Department, that he believes the law is constitutional. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1.
WSME.
It's live and local. Real Talk.
All right. Yeah, and we are back, and it's always good to have Senator Lazar in here.
I tell you what, he's filled some big shoes, and he's done an excellent job. And he really takes care of his people. He's done so much for Jones County, so much for Onslow County. And this is a man that if you need to reach out, he'll answer you. And you can feel very confident that he's up there representing us.
Yeah, I feel good with him.
Yeah, he's
when,
great.
Senator Brown, former Senator Brown, decided he was going to not run again after a dozen years or so in the Senate. I was happy to see who jumped in on board.
Right.
Not a problem
Yes.
with that.
Oh, I know it. I mean, because he was the mayor pro tem
Yeah.
in the city of Jacksonville,
Yeah.
and now, and when he decided to run for state senator, I mean, it was kind of a slam dunk.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he had lots of experience in that area.
Yes.
It's not like somebody just getting off the bus and deciding they're going to run, never run before for
Right.
such a big seat. That's a big seat.
Yes, it
That's
is.
a lot of work there. And if you go in there with no real serious background, you're going to be one shocked individual. I can tell you that. You better have some kind of a background. We got a gentleman here now. Dave Wilker. He's, I'm not sure of your position over there, Dave, with the VFW.
Oh, I'm a member. I'm actually, I'm on a house committee, which is just,
Okay.
one of the committees to run the show over there.
All right. Veterans of Foreign Wars, you're in the Cedar Point branch,
Yes, sir.
located in Swansboro,
Right.
which are neighboring communities. What, of course, I grew up in this area, so I know what a VFW is, and so that's not an issue. What do you guys do besides have a bunch of parties?
Okay. And, I'm glad
Wow.
I'm glad that you said that, Rayford. Everybody, that I've talked to in the short time that I've been there, they have kind of a image of what the VFW is. What they don't realize is, our mandate, our mission is actually to serve veterans.
Mhm.
And it's not just veterans of foreign wars. It's, veterans as a community as a whole. So, to do that, we will hold fundraisers. We'll
Right.
do car shows, almost every festival and event that goes on in the area. There is a VFW tent there. We do community outreach through a program called the Young Marines, which a lot of people in the community are aware of because we have the Marine base right here. But the main thing that we do is we try to reach out to the veteran community, find those veterans that are out there that they might need some help getting VA assistance, get their health care going, their their disability. So it's more than just a bunch of guys sitting around sharing war stories and having a couple beers or whatever.
I know you guys, you have meetings and all sorts of cool things like that, and you come up with projects to do. Every time I think about two things involving veterans, it just really ticks me off. One is the suicide rate.
Yes.
That's 22 a day on the average nationwide. The other one is these guys who were either forced or they've lost their way and they're hanging out in the woods, and they're homeless. What are we doing about it?
Well, so it's interesting because to address the suicide thing, what do you do about that?
I don't know.
Because first of all, we would have to know specifically why that is happening. There's I don't really remember the number. It's probably in the neighborhood of 24,000 veterans in Onslow County. Army, Air Force, a lot of Marines. And really the only thing you can do is, and this is just the suicide thing, is bring them into the fold. That's one of the things that we want to do. We want to give them a place to say, I got family here, or I got people here that, understand where I'm coming from, or can, get me in to see a professional at the VA and I can talk to them. The homeless, that is, a lot of that has to do with just resources. They don't have the resources that they need to get that hand up.
Right.
And Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So what kind of events have you got coming up now?
Well, so there's, and this goes directly to what Rayford was asking about. We have an Onslow Veteran Stand Down and Resource event. Now, this isn't a post 9960 thing. I know post 9133, the Jacksonville Post, which is right up the road from you guys. And a lot of people in this area, I'm sure, are familiar with it. They're co-sponsoring it with the American Legion Post 265. But that's 7 February. It's 10 to 2 p.m. It's at 146 Broadhurst Road in Jacksonville. You can contact any VFW post in the area and they know about it, but they're going to try to get some of these veterans that are not necessarily the ones that are doing good, but the ones that are running into some roadblocks, having some issues, get them in, maybe get them signed up with some VA services, see what they need. If they're, in need of some clothes, maybe they're homeless, maybe they're partially, got one foot out the door to being homeless, reach out and give them some resources that they can use. One of the things that they are going to advocate, and I believe they'll have counselors on site that can kind of do a quick assessment, is the suicide prevention and homeless thing.
In previous wars, World War II, Korea, the medical care for battlefield conditions, the ability to get them out to a hospital, it wasn't quite so sophisticated as it is today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of people died because they could not get the medical care that they needed.
Yes, sir.
That's one of the reasons I'm sure that we have a whole lot more of these guys around here. We see them every day. I've got a couple of friends, same situation, with limbs they weren't born with. Lots of damage.
Yeah.
But same people would have died 50 years ago in Vietnam.
Yes, sir.
Many of them.
And that is, something that you see a lot. My dad, he's a Korea vet and, grew up during World War II. And that is a interesting dynamic that, a lot of people wouldn't think about, is we are bringing more people home. We
are. And they need more care.
And they need more care. And the VA has flexed to that. I'm a disabled veteran of sorts. Luckily not to the extent that you were talking about, but I've used the VA and they're really, despite what people hear about them, they're really putting a big effort towards serving those veterans. And that's, like I was saying before, that's one of the reasons the VFW exists in this area, or our mandate is to help those veterans get their foot in the door and get those services.
Growing up here, I heard so many people in the Marine Corps. We were pretty much the same age. They say, I can't wait to get out of here. Wait till I get out of this town. I don't want to be here anymore. So many decide, even after they left, here they come again.
Yeah.
They come a knocking on the door to stay. Yeah. Many of them open up small businesses. They go into business themselves of some sort or another, work for other people. I don't think we've changed that much. I think that they've come to realize that there are lots of opportunities here that they cannot get in a lot of other places. For instance, a lot of the guys like the water.
Yeah.
And they don't like all the crowded conditions in other places.
Right, right.
And I've heard so many of them talking about it. I think we're a military friendly place.
I think so.
More so than we were before.
Yep.
Because when I grew up, and you grew up a little bit later, but it was kind of like an us versus them thing, the civilians versus the Marines.
Yeah.
Two different communities.
Absolutely. And Eastern North Carolina is an awesome place. The Marine Corps took me all over the United States and all over the world, and
I keep kicking that thing.
yeah,
Sorry.
I kicked something down there too. But one of the things that I also feel, Rayford, and about people returning or people staying, is the fact that this community reaches out to the military. It's a partnership. We Camp Lejeune can't do what they do without the support of the surrounding communities, and vice versa. So you're absolutely right. And one of the things, and I'm just speaking personally for myself, but I have heard other vets and military people bring it up, is the fact that it's a warm embrace. It's not just the brother or sisterhood or family thing, but it's just knowing that you're in a community where people are going to thank you for your service, or you can let them know, hey, I'm a veteran and I was, in OIF or OEF or Vietnam or whatever. And you don't get that consternation or, that us against them feeling around here.
Not anymore. It used to be that way, but it's not anymore.
Yes, sir.
What can we as civilians do better to retain those folks who are either retiring or getting out of the Marine Corps and the Navy and the Coast Guard? We've got everybody here.
That's a kind of a tough question. And, I don't really have a lot of experience in this, but, I will say, when you see that veteran and you know where they're coming from, I mean, whether they served for 4 years or 30 years or more, and, they're all over the place. I think, maybe giving them an opportunity, lending them, it might just be lending them an ear, let them tell their story. But I also, I didn't come on the show to really talk about the money or the fact that we're a nonprofit organization, that the majority of the money we raise just goes right back to, but, look around at the veteran organizations that are around. And, if you're in a position where you can donate a little bit of money or some time or a facility or any kind of resource, that donation down the line will really mean a lot to the veterans in this area, because it'll all go back to them. I mean, I've had the fortune or misfortune, however you want to look at it, of getting involved in the finances of the post that I'm a member of, 9960. And I've talked with other members of other posts, and, a lot of money goes through there, but very little of it actually goes into the operation or is retained by a VFW post. It all goes right back to the veterans.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
So I like that. Anything else we can do to help you?
Well, I think this might be a good opportunity to just, thank you guys for letting me have a little bit of time this morning to talk. We have a lot of events coming up. I think maybe, rather than me talk about, specific things today, maybe I can just email them to you.
You can do that.
And if you, have the opportunity to put them on your website or get the word out there. And, I will say that, we do sponsor some pretty big things. If you've heard of the Cruising to the Cape car show, we did it up at Mac Daddy's. I think it was a couple car shows ago, but there's different ones that we do. So that would be the kind of thing that I would send to you to have you put on your
anytime.
program.
Just get it to us. Please fabulous about getting it posted on Facebook. I am a whole lot less than fabulous about dealing with Facebook.
Yep.
I tolerate it, but
Yes, sir.
Well, what nights do you meet?
Well, so we do a post meeting the first Thursday of every month, but we're open almost 365 days a year. So it is, there's some stipulations about membership. You have to, have served in a campaign,
Right.
Essentially be a veteran of foreign war, but we welcome everyone. I mean, most of the people that walk the door, if they don't qualify as a veteran of foreign war, they can join the auxiliary. There's, folks that, frequent my posts that I know are not auxiliary or VFW post members. They're actually just good friends, and someone signs them in, and they use the post as if they belong to it. But we have food specials. We do wings every Wednesday night.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Every other Tuesday we do a Taco Tuesday.
Okay.
Both
We were
of the,
talking tacos.
Whoa.
Yeah.
so both of those are the best deal you'll get in the area. I guarantee
So
it.
anybody can go to that?
Yeah.
Well, it's for members and their guests.
Okay.
So, but like I said, you show up, and someone there will sign you in.
Okay.
But we do almost every Friday. We have a Friday food special that ranges from, Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwiches to, chicken honey pepper chicken quarters or
Good
whatever
God.
it is. So.
Yeah, I've gone to the one in Holly Ridge before, and Dan can make a mean spaghetti. That's all I've got to say.
And that's one thing about the veterans. You can always, if nothing else, you can get them in for food.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
absolutely.
I know a couple of us went last Christmas, not this one, but the one before, and we helped cook on Christmas Day, and that was it. Just made me feel so good to be there and do something for our veterans. But so where are you located at?
That was going to be my question.
Yep. So, amazingly enough, I don't have the address memorized, but we're at 246 VFW Road in Swansboro. That's off Highway 53.
Okay.
So if you,
Highway 53.
I think is it 53 that goes
24?
to
That's 58.
Oh, 53. Yeah,
excuse
58.
me.
That's right. Yes.
My bad.
I
I
know
used
right
to
where
live
it's
on
at.
Highway 53.
I know
down
right
in
where
Southwest.
it's at. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Highway 58, it's 246 VFW Road, and that's a Swansboro address, but you'll feel like you're in Cedar Point.
Yes, because when you get to that intersection where you turn right to go to the beach,
Yeah,
you
I know.
turn left instead, and there's the first left, which about like a quarter mile down the road, and there's a sign there.
I was there for a memorial service a few years
Yes.
ago.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, I
we
know
do
right
a
where it's
lot of
at.
those. Anybody in the community that has a veteran that has passed, we always reach out to them and see if we have a hall that's I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's 3,000 square feet.
It's a very big area.
Yeah,
Isn't that where
so
they opened up voting location there last year?
I don't think there was a voting location.
that was a
there.
different building
It might
right
have been
there.
American Legion
Yeah,
or
maybe.
another building up there.
I think
there's
that was a community building, y'all.
Yeah,
I
there's some
remember that.
community buildings and municipal buildings in that
Right.
area. But also, since we're on the subject, we do have a website for our post.
Okay.
It's www.bfw9960.org. That'll have everything, potentially that you would want to know, schedule of events, where we're at, phone number, how to become a member, all that good
Right.
stuff.
Well, I have your email and I have your phone number, and now I have this website. So we'll put something up on our Facebook for you
I
to
appreciate
direct
that, Lee.
people. And we're glad you came in.
We certainly are, Dave.
Yep.
Thank you for coming in here this morning.
Thank
And,
you for having me.
You can make this a regular thing or semi-regular or
Sure.
whatever. Like you got something big coming up. Yeah, email us and let us
Yep.
know but if you got something really big coming up, needs to bring some attention to it, call us and come on in.
Okay.
Right.
And I appreciate that. I know Lee will tell you, I'm pretty good at pestering about
No,
what's
he
going
didn't.
on.
He wasn't pestering me. I had dropped the ball. Forgot to send him an email back, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Just trying to keep
Yeah.
up with things sometimes. I have my moments. I forget.
Yeah, I do too.
But I'll definitely do that.
But no, I appreciate you calling me and saying, hey, don't forget me. I had you on the list. I had just forgot to send him the directions.
Yeah, all right. Well, you found the way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It was easy, I'm sure.
Dave, have a great weekend.
I appreciate it, Rayford. And I'll be listening to you guys.
Yes, appreciate that.
You're my buddies on the way to work every morning.
Very good.
Yeah, Dave, that's how we got talking. He said, I listen to you every morning. I was like, oh, there you go. Another listener.
Okay. Where do you work?
I work on Camp Lejeune.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a federal employee over there, so still trying to, rub elbows with the Marines, even though I can't keep up with them all the time.
There's nothing
I know
wrong
that
with
feeling.
that.
All right, we'll take a break, and we got other news we're going to be talking about when we come back, including
Yes.
T-shirts for seniors.
Oh, yes.
Oh, this
There's quite a
is
few of them there. I
interesting.
won't.
You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Hey there, it's your afternoon guy, Chris Hollywood, man, reminding you, Coach Joan Riggs will be on Sports Talk with Chris Rader coming up at 9 a.m. This is exciting. Joe coached volleyball at Swansboro High School for 20 years. During that time, Swansboro picked up five state championships, 4 runner-up finishes. Joan was the North Carolina High School Athletic Association Coach of the Year 1993, and this coming Saturday, February the 4th, she will be the 2023 inaugural Swansboro Hall of Fame inductee. Tune in, find out about Joan. All happening at 9 a.m. with Chris Rader. Sports Talk exclusively on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Jacksonville's famous Mai Tai restaurant is open for in-house dining for your enjoyment, and now features a seafood dinner buffet beginning at 4 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, and from 11 till 9 on Sundays. All you can eat seafood for just $14.95. Located at 109 Henderson Drive, Mai Tai is open Tuesday through Sunday from 11 till 9. Featuring a lunch and seafood dinner buffet, appetizers, entrees with all your favorite beef, chicken, and seafood combinations. Their hibachi comes with onions, zucchini, and your choice of fried or steamed rice. Lunch buffet is just $12.95 and dinner $14.95 for all you can eat seafood buffet. For takeout, call 910-346-5382 or 910-346-6675 and online at mythainc.com. Delivery available through your favorite app. All you can eat dinner seafood buffet 4 to 9 Tuesday through Saturday and Sundays 11 till 9. Mai Tai Restaurant for over 35 years. Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only copper protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech, luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering. They're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tub, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering. Family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering. You stand on it, we stand behind it. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Drs. Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention. You have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
It's live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
All right, we're back. Tideline Marine right here in Jacksonville, your one-stop shop for all of your boating and fishing needs. Get on by there. Say, George, show me something. Show me what these new
Show me,
lures.
George.
I saw some new lures there. They got a whole wall of lures now, just runs from
I
one
saw
end
a
of the building
video
to
he
the other.
did.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's lots of new stuff there, and it's really cool stuff too. I'm anxious to get ready to get out there on the high seas and try out a couple of those new lures and see if I can trick some fish into coming on board with me.
I don't think it'll take much tricking those new lures.
I'd like to take them home with me for dinner, you know.
Right.
Invite them for dinner. Tideline Marines at 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Won't go fishing today, though. Small craft advisories in effect through tomorrow morning. Northwesterly winds today 15 to 25 knots, gust up to 30, seas 3 to 5 feet, except 2 to 3 near shore. Dominant period 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers are going to be choppy today. Northeasterly winds 15 to 25 tomorrow, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas kind of on a rough side, 4 to 6 foot, subsiding to 2 to 4 in the afternoon later. Near shore seas 2 to 3, dominant period 4 seconds tomorrow. And on Sunday, wind side of the south at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, building to 3 to 5 in the afternoon.
Okay, and today we have a 70% chance of rain, cloudy through mid-morning, then gradual clearing with a high near 47. Tonight, clear with a low of 22. Saturday, sunny with a high near 40. Saturday night, low of 28. Sunday, which is race day, a slight chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a high near 60. Race day. NASCAR's back. Look, in honor, I wore my NASCAR jacket today.
Oh,
yes.
Well,
in honor of race day.
Race day.
Race day, Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm
Remember
so
that
happy.
ad that you used to have?
Yeah, Sunday.
Started out
Sunday.
Sunday,
Yeah.
whatever it was. Okay, now we got one thing here that I'll get to first before we move on over. Law-abiding North Carolinians who choose to exercise their constitutionally protected Second Amendment rights should be able to exercise those rights in other states with concealed carry laws. That's from Senator Tillis.
I agree.
This common sense legislation protects and promotes the rights of lawful gun owners while respecting the state's sovereignty. And I'm proud to work with my Republican colleagues on this thing. What they've done, Senator Tillis and 44 other senators
I agree.
have come out with this Constitutional Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act. It will allow, if it goes through, with concealed carry privileges in my home state,
Right.
to exercise those rights in any other state that allows concealed carry.
I agree.
But you still have to
100%.
abide the other state's laws. Each state has its own laws dealing with
Yep.
concealed carry.
That's right.
Some say you can't carry it at this location, or you can carry it here, and others, it's
Right.
different from state to state. It would be your responsibility
I
to find it
understand
out
that. Yes.
what it is before you get there.
Anytime I travel out of state, that's the first thing I do. I look at that state's
Yep.
laws, whatever state I'm going to be going through as far as, and I know New York, if I'm going to New York, just leave the gun at home because it's not worth the hassle.
Yeah, New York, Massachusetts, Maryland, all have some
Mhm.
really tough situations.
But if you've gone and you've taken the
Yep.
training and you've been processed and you get the concealed carry permit,
Yep.
you should be able to use that in any state in the United States because that's your Second Amendment
that
right.
has concealed carry privileges for
Right.
their home people. But it's just so weird the way it works sometimes. So anyway,
Well, I can guarantee you those 44, did you say 44
44.
states?
Oh no,
Oh,
there are 44 senators.
Senators. I'm sure the one from California wasn't included. so-
Yeah, no, I'm sure the ones in New York were not included as
No.
well.
Mm-mm.
Okay, now I mentioned going into the break there. A friend of mine, and he's a member of the Onslow Bay Saltwater Fishing Club. He's also a member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. Carl Rauschenberg. He is always sending me funny things. So, T-shirts for seniors.
Yes.
These are actual T-shirts that are printed up. One of them says patience, and it's got a gas gauge, and the arrow is pointing at empty. I ain't got no patience left.
That's me every day. No, not every day.
If you're happy and you know it, it's probably your meds. To me, drink responsibly means don't spill it. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come in the first place. A little gray hair is a small price to pay for all this wisdom. Oh, God, I've gotten really smart.
Oh, my gosh, you're so smart.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be older. Well, this crap is not what I expected.
I like that.
Everyone was thinking it. I just said it.
Yep.
This old
We know a
fogies like
few
us
like
can
that.
get
We
away
know a
with it,
few
you
like
know?
that. That's right.
The best thing about the good old days was that I wasn't good and I wasn't old. Some days, this was appropriate for any age. Some days the supply of curse words is insufficient to meet my demands.
Amen on that one.
You are about to exceed the limits of my medication.
Uh-oh. That could be bad.
I got to get a couple of these and start wearing them. On your mark, get set, go away.
I like that one.
I have stopped listening, so why are you still talking?
Oh, true.
If you can't laugh at yourself, let me do it for you. Patient is a virtue. It's just not one of my virtues.
Yeah, the meter's on 0, right?
I am who I am. Your approval is not needed. 4 out of 3 people struggle with math. Now, when I showed you that one earlier, it took you a second.
Yes, it did. It took me a second. Say it again.
4 out of 3 people struggle with math.
And there is your math dilemma.
Retired, under new management. See Spiles for details. I'm retired.
That's
under
right.
new management.
That's right.
She'll explain to you. All right.
You'll have to call my dog.
All right.
They give me the honey-do list.
I got you. All right, we're back here. Enough of the funnies.
Well, it was
What
good,
else we
though.
got going on?
Oh, well, we have not talked about the squad getting so upset yesterday.
Ilhan?
Oh, I saw that when it happened. I watched that vote. They voted her out of the Foreign Affairs Committee. Voted her off
Why?
of it. Well, because all of her anti-Semitic remarks that she's made in the past. They didn't feel
Yeah.
like she was a good fit.
What did
And
she-
of course, now what's she screaming? She's a one. She's a Muslim. So everyone's racist.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me a break.
We just don't like you.
No, we just don't like you. But the squad, whoo, they got up and made some speeches. Let me tell you what, AOC, she was fired up. I thought she was going to beat up everybody there. She
Bless
was
her heart.
so mad.
Yeah. Poor girl.
And then one of the other squad members got up there and then they kept telling her, your time's up, your time's up, your time. You're not being recognized. And she was just a hollering. And I'm like, whoa. Very disrespectful to the other members there in the
You need
legislature.
somebody like me there when that happens, in control of the board that
I'd be cutting
controls
her
the
mic
audio,
off.
so that
Sure.
when they're talking like I'm talking right now, and I get tired of listening to them, I just turn the pot down all the
Oh,
way. They
you
can't
just
hear.
had to watch, especially AOC. She was up there and she was just very, very loud. And she was slapping her book on the stand and the podium, and they
And-
kept telling her, "Your time's up."
And she gets paid to be that stupid.
Yes.
Bluegrass and gospel sing January through March, the first and third Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's going to be at the Halls Run Community Building, 896 Halls Run Road. That is tomorrow, is the first Saturday in February. I'll get it right. So the first and third Saturdays in, we got February and March now at the Halls Run Community Building, begins at 6 o'clock. And it's called a Bluegrass and Gospel Sing. Get them out
Nice.
there. Yeah. So
There's a lot of interest
we'll try to
around
remind you of that too. Oh yeah.
around these parts with bluegrass. I have a friend whose mother has one every Monday night. They have a get together
do they?
in Stella, and they play music and they sing and they have such a great time.
Yeah. Where else? So anything else we got here? I got to check the news. I haven't looked at it lately.
See if there's any break. Not everything. I have been watching. I told you I have been watching that murder case
Yeah.
out of South Carolina. Boy, this has been really bizarre. But earlier in the week, they had detectives, investigators, forensic experts talking about the cell phones. And I didn't realize that so much of what you do with your cell phone is recording. For instance, when you hold it up like this, you are in a portrait mode.
Right.
If you turn it like this and go to a landscape mode, your cell phone is actually recording that. It records everything. If I was to throw it across the room, it would
It
record
would say, ouch.
that action. So I think where it's really going to prove him guilty are the cell phone records. And he claims that he was not at the kennels where his wife and son were shot and murdered. Um, but yet his son had made a video earlier of him with his father over there looking at trees and stuff.
Doggone it.
And then there was another Snapchat video that his son took showing a friend. He was taking care of the friend's dog at the kennel. So he was doing a video and the father could be heard in the background. And that was like an hour before the murders. And he claims he wasn't there.
Don't you hate it when you get caught up in a lie like that?
So then the wife, they could tell when the last communication was on her cell phone, a text that she got that went unanswered, and it was just so many seconds after her son had gotten a text from the same person. He didn't answer, so he texted the mother, tell Paul to call me, and that went unanswered. So they were able to pretty much pinpoint almost the exact time of the murders. But within minutes after that, they have record by cell phone where her cell phone was actually picked up and it traveled. It walked, and they were able to extract records of that because, it was found on the side of the road. But they have actual by cell phone records and by this forensic type investigation they can do on your cell phone that the cell phone actually was picked up off her body and carried away.
If you're planning to do any
You
bad
forgot
stuff,
about the cell phones.
leave your cell phone some other location, like Alaska.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That
Well,
would be the smart thing to
supposedly
do.
he was in the house taking a nap. Maybe he should have just left his cell phone in the house.
They could have done that too.
Yes.
And gone are the days that you can take the battery out and it stops doing anything because
That's
you can't get these
right.
batteries out now.
That's right.
And any of the stuff that you've already done, by the way, is recorded, not just on your cell phone. You send
Yes.
text messages, they're out there in the system.
Oh, sure.
The telephone calls that you made, they're out there in the system.
Well, they were saying now, anytime you make movements on your cell phone, like if you did throw it, you dropped it down the stairs, you're changing it from portrait to landscape or whatever, that lasts generally about 30 days on your phone and then it resets. Not on all phones, though, because they were able to get his phone. Now, I'm waiting for that to come out. I'm waiting for him to try to explain away the fact that he said he wasn't
He's not
there.
going to get up there and talk about it.
Well, right now they're showing his financial straits. He's been charged over 90 counts of embezzling $8.5 million from the firm that his family created and worked for.
Whoops.
So they're bringing that up now, and there was some argument on, well, that really has nothing to do with the murder, but the
Shows the
prosecuting
stress he was
or
under.
so. Yes, exactly. He's building that timeline now and showing the stress and the state of mind that Alex Murdaugh was in at the time. So it's just been very interesting, at the same time very bizarre. They have weak evidence, I think. They have the cell phone and they have a video. And as far as more forensic evidence, I don't know what they're going to be able to show. But I mean, he's guilty. He's guilty. He's guilty of murder.
We'll have to wait and see what the jury
But
says,
you've
but
got to be able to,
they've built a pretty good case.
yeah, build, beyond a preponderance of doubt. So,
A video on Fox News, two students viciously beating a 9-year-old student on a Florida school bus. It surfaced again, alarming the community and prompting a swift reaction from the girls' parents. The disturbing footage shows two boys repeatedly striking the girl as she folded over in a seat, barely defending herself, with one hand as she tightly grips her backpack with the other. Many of the punches land on the girl's head, neck, and face. No fellow students or adults intervene to stop
It's
the initial
sad.
assault. What?
Why? You sit there and watch a child get beat like that, and you don't try to do anything. Mm.
The heartbroken mother of the daughter, the third grader, said she is pressing charges against the school. Good. Coconut Palm K through 8 Academy in Homestead, and is pursuing criminal charges against the assailants. Really? Really? What kind of excuses can you have?
Really?
Wonder
Seriously.
what justification you would use that, yes, the two of us, we whooped up on that little girl. You should have seen it.
It's sad.
It's on video,
I know
people.
it's on video. Of course, it's on video. And I don't know if it's known yet, but I know the Onslow County Board of Education will be bringing up at their next meeting a new policy they're working on, not allowing cell phones in the classes, in the schools.
You know, I when pagers came out,
Right.
I agreed, no pagers. Cell phones came out, I said, this is ridiculous to have cell phones in the classroom,
Right.
the students carrying them. But with all of the nastiness that's gone on, where somebody bad person gets into a schoolroom with a gun or whatever, and they're able to currently call 911 from there.
Well, I'm not sure of the specifics. It could be like only in the classroom during study time, during learning time. I don't
If
really know.
somebody breaks in one time and their cell phones are secured in their lockers,
Well,
what's going to happen?
think back about the days we went to school. We didn't have cell phones in the classroom.
No, we did not.
We didn't even think about miss it, but now the world has changed so
It
much.
has. And again, it's technology. It's when
Right.
it is abused.
Right.
I know that. I abused technology when I was in high school.
Right.
How'd I do that? Because there were several of us in a group that all had these little CB walkie-talkies
Yes.
with a
Oh,
Morse
yeah, we
code
all
button
had.
on
Oh,
them.
yeah. Oh, no, I didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
Morse. I couldn't do Morse code.
Well, we did. We could exchange messages without talking, so nobody knew what we were doing.
Oh, we just passed notes. I mean,
Oh,
it was easier.
you're so old school.
Hey, I just got a message from our former sheriff. You remember yesterday we were talking about spam phone calls and
Yeah.
stuff. He said he just got a call
I
from
just saw that.
Orangeburg, South Carolina. Not knowing anyone there, I answered it, criminal investigations, and they hung up.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I have to
Yeah.
remember that one. Thanks, Hans.
I've done it as an agency sometimes too when they
Yes.
call, or police department. What you want?
Like I told you, when we had the private investigations agency, I used to get little kids call and say they had lost a certain part of their body, and they needed to hire us. And I was
Yeah.
like, kids, kids.
Yeah, my grandmother told me, she was probably in her 80s at the time. She said, I got this phone call the other day and it made me so mad.
Why?
I answered it and they said, ma'am, is your refrigerator running?
Oh,
And she said, she put it down, put the phone down, came back in a minute. She said, yes, it's running. He said, you better hurry up and catch it.
Oh, that's like Prince Philip and
I know.
Prince
Albert
Albert in the can. Oh,
Let him
no.
out. All right.
And Kentucky Fried. We used to do it at the post office. We used to, like, our boss at the time, our postmaster, we used to leave him written messages. Lieutenant Colonel from so-and-so called, please call him back. No,
Mm.
Colonel so-and-so from so-and-so, please call him back. And we would take the telephone number to Kentucky Fried Chicken and leave that on there. We pulled all sorts of stuff from them back in
Oh,
the
and
day.
I've done them too, but
It goes in the bathroom. We take off the doorknob. We did moved his desk outside one time. Oh yeah, we were just terrible.
well, at another radio station many years ago, it had a nice big ditch there.
Oh,
And 6 of us picked up a Volkswagen, belonged to the guy that was on the air, and put it across the ditch. You're live in local Real Talk. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Don't break a heart or your bank account this Valentine's Day. Be sure to make it a Barnes Diamond Gallery gift for the love in your life. You see, you always get a sweetheart of a deal at Barnes Diamond Gallery. Family owned and operated since 1982. You are guaranteed to find the perfect diamond, emerald, ruby, or sapphire. Barnes Diamond Gallery also has a great selection of earrings, watches, bracelets, necklaces, rings, and pendants that will make that special person happy this Valentine's Day. Barnes Diamond Gallery custom designs jewelry and pays top prices for gold, sterling silver jewelry, sterling flatware, and diamonds. Make that special person feel extra special with a gift from Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, right here in Jacksonville. Family owned and operated since 1982.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and custom threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City. Open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
Whether it's a quick bite to go or a sit-down lunch meeting, make the Burrow Restaurant your midday go-to eatery. From small plates and appetizers, sandwiches, burgers, and salads, to steak, seafood, chicken, and pasta, there's something for everyone, including a kids menu. Or pick up a Low Country boil from the Burrow's Low Country Kitchen for your next office or family get-together. And craft cocktails to go. Restrictions apply. Ask for details. The Burrow Restaurant, 109 North Front Street in historic downtown Swansboro.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
All right, and we're going to have to take another break too, because I got carried away earlier. So don't go away. We'll be right back here live and local Real Talk.
Hi guys, it's Lisa, the Queen of Diamonds from Bryn Mawr Jewelers in Jacksonville. Are you looking for a ring for the perfect girl? We have hundreds of rings in our beautiful showroom. Want a ring as unique as your girl? Then we'll custom design a ring especially for you. Not sure if you want lab-grown diamonds or an earth mine diamond? No problem. We'll take the time to explain the difference. We guarantee to find a diamond as exceptional as your girl. We hand select every diamond that comes into our store, and it has to be a sparkling fireball to make it in our showcase. Our long-standing relationships in the industry guarantees you to get the most competitive price on the highest quality diamond. We offer custom financing so that it's easy to buy the ring of her dreams. We have rings for every budget and a vast selection of loose diamonds. So I invite you to come visit us today at Bryn Mawr Jewelers in Jacksonville. The Lutz family has been a part of thousands of I Do's for over 72 years. Nobody does I Do like we do. Come see why we're Jacksonville's oldest family jeweler.
Bryn Mawr Jewelers, next to Sam's Club, Jacksonville.
What kind of off-roading, boat-towing, fish-catching, mud-splashing, kid-hauling, shopping, mauling, ball-throwing, beach-going fun are you getting into this year? Do it in a new Ram or Jeep from National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Come get bodacious savings now during the President's Day event.
Visit National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Highway 17 in Jacksonville.
It's a national thing. Go National!
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Now's your chance. You want to chat? We've got some time.
Yes, we
A couple
do.
of minutes or so here. 910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. I don't know what they should do about that Chinese balloon.
I say shoot it down.
You know,
Why is it? Why we let it?
Because it's going to have a problem, falling debris and all that sort of good stuff.
But the Pentagon said that likely where it was to fall, it probably wouldn't impact anybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think, why are we letting it stay up there?
I would favor taking it down.
I am too. Well, the Billings, Montana airport closed yesterday because of, it being in that vicinity, and you've got issues with air traffic coming in and out.
It might be higher than commercial airliners fly.
True.
But
it still presents a problem.
It can go up and down
That's
the
right.
whole time. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember way back when you get these little balloons and they go up, 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 and up, and up, and up, and then they come down because they lose the helium.
Right. Yes.
So, this thing's going to come down anyway somewhere.
Right.
I'm guessing that it will anyway. I always wanted one of those balloons, not the one that's this size, but one of those weather balloons. They used to have them surplus. They would send them up into the air and check on stuff. And I always just wanted to get one, fill it up with helium, and pull an antenna wire up. Let it go up way up in the air. Like those advertising balloons they have.
Right.
At car dealers and whatever.
Right.
I just
Yes.
think that would be
Speaking
so cool.
of those things, those crazy things that are real skinny and they're really huge,
Yeah.
tall, and they blow up and they sit there. Those things drive me crazy.
Why?
I don't like them. They're creepy because there's a store that's over, I'll just say near Target area.
Yeah.
And when you go walking into the pet store and that other things next door, and I feel like it's coming after me.
You have a right to
I
defend
just want to
yourself.
punch it.
Oh, well, go ahead, try it.
Speaking of punches, no, not really. We got sports talk today.
Oh, we do have sports talk today.
Yes.
My goodness gracious, I'm glad you said that.
Yes, I just got thinking about it because I know the last couple of Fridays, Chris was
I
calling us.
I got confused because of the where did he send it to me on?
I'm going to look it right up here on their Facebook page too,
Okay.
and have it on standby.
Here we go.
All right.
We've got at Sports Talk coming up right after this show. Coach Joan Riggs will be Chris Rayner's guest on Sports Talk.
That's right.
At 9:00. Joan coached volleyball at Swansboro High for 20 years.
Wow.
During that time, Swansboro picked up 5 state championships and 4 runner-up finishes. Cool.
Nice.
She's been the 1990 HSAA Coach of the Year. That's 1998,
big
by the way,
award.
1993. I think.
Right.
I got to put my glasses on. The 8s and the 3s after a while. It is 93.
Yes.
Joan has been the 1993 NCH SAA Coach of the Year, inducted into the 2008 JOSC Hall of Fame, and will be a 2023 inaugural Swansboro Hall of Fame inductee tomorrow.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
Sports Talk live this morning at 9 a.m. on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. And you can also listen to it, WSME971.com. and they have they're up on Facebook as well.
Yes,
Uh,
off
so
the radio station
off the
page,
radio
the
station
WSME
page,
station.
not this one,
Not
off
this
their
one.
their
Right.
separate page. So give a shout out and
Well, congratulations to Coach Riggs on that
Yep.
prestigious award and
that's
being
cool.
inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's awesome.
Yep. All right, what do we got Monday?
Monday. I don't think we have anybody. Monday, Tuesday is Peter Wright.
Yes.
With the health care. We're still working on some more guests. I will tell you, everybody better write this down. Write it down now. February 16th, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson will be joining us by phone.
Yep, that'll be good.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. Also, do not forget, it's time to get out there. There's something happening a week from next Tuesday. It's the 14th.
It's Valentine's Day, which reminds me, JoJo from Jacksonville Parks and Jacksonville. How did he say Jacksonville Recreation and Parks? I've got it written down.
Okay.
The correct title. He's going to be in the studio joining us and
good.
let us know what's going on with the Jacksonville City Parks.
Okay, sounds like a winner. I'm at a thing. I don't particularly care for a lot of consolidated government, but there are some units like they do it already with the inspections and tax collections.
Right.
Okay. Wouldn't it be that? I think Parks and Rec, it goes way beyond just whatever your town limits are.
Yes.
So I think the Onslow and Jacksonville, they have they can have a combined Parks and Recreation unit and probably take care of it with fewer people total.
Well, that's a thought, but generally your city's separate from the county, and that's the way
but
it's
not,
always been.
but not always.
But
not
you know,
always.
I'm sure there are events that they have worked together on.
I'm sure they do work together on
I
it.
think we have great parks and recreation between the county and the
We
city.
do.
There's always a lot to
Something's happening. Okay. Again,
Yes.
Sports Talk is up right after Fox News break.
Right.
Fox News break coming up in just a few seconds. And we will be gone, and we will see you on Monday morning.
Monday
bright and early.
morning.
Kelly's
Stay
going to be back.
warm. Yes,
And
can't wait to hear her
Wait
stories.
till we get some information from her dealing with what she's been dealing with.
Yes.
It's like holy mackerel. Lots of stuff about drugs. Fentanyl is way up there.
Oh, the information she has
Yep.
will knock your socks
You
off.
got that right. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Have a great rest of your day, a great weekend, and stay warm.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Well, the Pentagon says the Chinese spy balloon spotted over Montana is being allowed to stay up there higher than commercial aircraft, a senior U.S. defense official tells Fox, because it's no more useful than China's low Earth satellites, and shooting it down could cause damage or injuries on the ground.
Defense officials in Canada are concerned as well, saying that they have spotted a potential second balloon. All of this comes just days before Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Beijing, where he is expected to visit with President Xi Jinping.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. Blast of cold air is hitting the Northeast today and tomorrow.
Parts of New York and New England could see